Today I want to jump right in and talk about how I've made over $50,000 from bookings that have come in from one of my favorite sites to get leads, Gig Salad. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rob Anderson, founder of MoneyBeard. I started the MoneyBeard channel to help you learn how you can make and grow your money doing what you love to do. With that, let's jump right on in and talk about Gig Salad. Gig Salad is a site for people who are planning an event to go and find services for that event, such as entertainment. There's a bunch of different categories on this site, and I can actually run you through some of them right now. And if you fit into any of these categories with your service, you should be on this site because you can get paid to do what you do quickly and easily. Look how many categories there are here. Everything from balloon twisters to bartenders, comedians, food trucks. There's food trucks on here. Outdoor movies. You can do event security services. Let's find event security services near me. Where? Madison, Alabama. Oh, we didn't find many event security services here in Madison, Alabama. See? Prime example, if you're an event security services in Madison, Alabama, not many vendors, you should be on here. There is a very low supply right now of security professionals. You got HD, his disciple, and he's a Christian rapper slash security artist right here. The wedding officiant slash bartender. That's convenient. Look at that. And those performers and vendors have received over 14 million gig requests. Bottom line being, there is money to be made on this website. The one big complaint I've heard from people about this site is that they've joined it and then they quit after just a few months because they didn't get any bookings. Either that or they complain that many of the people coming on here to book talent are just price shopping and looking for the cheapest thing they can find. And I can attest, the second one is definitely true. I get around it. I'm going to explain how. The first one, though, I think there are a number of strategies you can implement. Actually, I know there are a number of strategies you can implement to find success on here because I've done it, and I'm going to explain some of that. So I'm going to take you into my dashboard right now and show you a few numbers. All right, so we're in my dashboard here, and we can see that I have booked $36,360 of gigs. Those are direct bookings that came directly through this website. And you can see that I've received a total of 464 total leads, and out of those I have sent 308 different quotes. That means there were about 150 some leads that came in that I just wasn't interested in. I knew they weren't a good fit for me, whether it was because they were just going to be too low budget or just not a good fit for the type of performing that I do. And you can see out of those 308 quotes that I've sent, I've booked 35 of those. So that's an 11.4% close rate. So you're going to notice two things here right away. And the first thing is that this number here does not say $50,000. That's because there have been a few very high dollar gigs that I've booked where at the client's request or demand kind of, they've contacted me on here and then wanted to move off of Gig Salad to talk and go through conference call after conference call and eventually do the booking. Very little communication was actually done on Gig Salad for those gigs. And I know Gig Salad frowns upon this, and Gig Salad, if you're watching, in each of the quotes that I send, I recommend to the client that they book directly on here. There have been a few times out of these hundreds of quotes that I've sent where the client just refused to. You're going to notice a very low close rate, 11.4%. So that means that almost very close to 90% of the quotes that I've sent have either been declined or expired, or I just haven't booked them. That is a very low close rate, but it's right where I want it. And the reason for that is, like I talked about earlier, a lot of people do come into this site to find the cheapest possible thing, and that's not me. There are the low budget options. There are plenty of those out there. I know when I see those come in, I don't want them. That's why for some of these, I haven't even sent quotes in. I've just declined right away when they come in. The ones I do send, I'll throw a Hail Mary quote at some of these that I know is probably going to be too high. It often is. That's fine though. The quote takes me a minute or two to send, and in the off chance one of those low ballers actually does end up booking my service, great. And I think that's actually happened a couple of times. I want to take you even a little further into my dashboard here and show you some of the specific booking amounts I've gotten to show you that it really is possible to get higher end clients that will pay you a little more than you might expect for services on this site. Starting all the way back here, I booked one gig back in 2014 for $2,000. The fact that my first event on here was for $2,000 is remarkable. I would probably do this show now for like at minimum $10,000, and I did it for $2,000 back then, just not knowing. That just shows my lack of experience, not realizing how much work was involved. I didn't really get serious about Gig Salad until 2017 though, and that's when you'll start to see some of the amounts going into the four figures on here. This $100 event was a charity show, but there's 1,000, there's another about 1,000, 2,400. There's one for $4,750. So, I mean, there's a show, you know, that's definitely on the higher end of things that I don't think, I hear people say, you know, that it's impossible to book higher end stuff on here. But if you're looking at some of these amounts, I just want you to see that it is possible to make good money on this site. Oh yeah, I've also got these two quotes that I've sent that are pending. One's for $795, the other's for $2,800. I've got verbal confirmation on both these, which basically means I've got about a 70% chance of these going through. Yeah, we'll hope. So the truth is, I struggled too when I first got on here, and I've implemented a few strategies that have helped me gain a little bit of a competitive edge, and I'll explain some of that, and hopefully you're able to find a little more success on here too. And first, and this isn't even one of the strategies that I want to talk about, but I never undercut anyone. Don't undercut your competition. I've talked about this before. I really feel it's just a bad practice overall. I feel it drives the market down. It tends to make other people in your industry view you in a bad light, and if your services are good enough, then you should be able to charge a decent rate and shouldn't need to go down, you know, to half the price that your lowest competition is charging. So, all right, my first strategy is one that's often overlooked, I feel, and that's in my bio. So a lot of times with people's bios on here, I see it basically written out as you know, such and such an entertainer has been seen performing all over the tri-state area or all over the US and has won this award and that award, and has been featured on, you know, such and such a TV show, and just a bunch of things written in the third person. And the truth is, everyone on here writes their own bios. No one on here has a publicist writing their bios for Gig Salad. And I know that. I think most of the people booking the talent know that. And so I just took a completely different approach, and I went almost for like a pattern interrupt here. And I just wrote mine directly to the person reading it in the first person, starting with the word hello, which nobody does on here, but I'm really big on pattern interrupts as being a way to kind of stop people in their tracks. And, you know, when they're expecting a certain sort of response, I love to always try to give them what they're not expecting, but something that's helpful both to them and to me. So here's what I mean by that on here. You know, they'll look at my bio and they're expecting to probably see, you know, Rob Anderson is a magician from Las Vegas, Nevada. He's been seen on this TV show. He's won this award. And I went the complete opposite direction. Here's my bio. Hello, Rob Anderson here. The big problem I hear with booking entertainment online is that you never really know what you're getting, other than sometimes a cheap price, which often leads to other problems. So see, what I've done is I've addressed them in the first person, talking directly to them, and I've addressed a problem first. I haven't said a thing about who I am, what I do, what TV shows I've been on. I want to address them directly and speak to their problems. The more you speak to people's pain points in general in any sort of sales, the more sales you will make. Period. So this is my first way on here of standing out and being different, which I want to stand out and be different. Second, I try to post only the most killer pictures and videos of what I do. I was told by a photographer one time while I was getting headshots that you're only worth as much to a client as your worst photo. And I thought that was interesting. That's also a pretty good sales line for a photographer to say. But I took it to heart and I really considered that when I was making my profile here. So just looking at some of my photos, I've posted photos that I've had taken at events. And usually these are the photographers at the events that I've asked for the photos afterwards, where I am performing the service that my clients on here on Gig Masters are going to be booking for. Corporate event close-up magic, trade show magic, another corporate event, close up on stage. Primarily though, I want people to be able to envision me at their event, which is why I'm using photos from events that I know the clients are going to be booking for. Same thing goes for my videos on here. I have a stellar promo video that I've made that's a combination of shots from TV, some of my big hits on YouTube. I've got a lot of shots in here of me at big corporate events. I've got client feedback in here, and I want people to see that as soon as they play the video, and they're going to get all of this in under 2 minutes. I'm really against posting like a long form video, anything over 3. Like if you have a video on here that's a promo video and it's 3 minutes or more, it's way too long. I'm really a big advocate of only posting promo videos that are 90 seconds to 2 minutes that fit in as much great content as possible. And I really feel like if you're a speaking performer, it should show you speaking as well. And that's one of the big problems I think with a lot of performers. They post videos where it's a montage set to music, which I'm not a fan of because I'm mostly personality and speaking. I am a magician, but I'm not the magician that gets on stage and performs to music. So I want them to hear me speaking, and I want them to visualize me at their event. Again, I'm always thinking about how to put the image of me at their event in their minds when they're looking at my profile. Another thing I'm really big on this site is responding right away. I have a rule for myself where if a lead comes in, if I'm doing anything I can step away from for a minute or two, I put it down, I stop working on it, I respond to the lead. If you're the first person to respond to a lead on a site like this, you're not only setting the bar, but you're the first person meeting their immediate need. When a client comes on here and they put out a request, they're doing it because they want to see responses as soon as possible. You're meeting their need first, it looks great, you're also setting the bar for the standard of quality and price they should expect to pay. And as soon as I send out a response on here, I'll also follow up with either an email or a phone call, just thanking them and letting them know that I sent the lead out, and I try to start building that relationship a little more as soon as I can. And my fourth strategy for you, which I promise you no one else is doing, and if you're doing this, you have a huge leg up on your competition, is this. Offer a free gift with your quote. All this has to be is a free digital product that adds value to your client with no expectations and no strings attached. If you know that most of your clients are coming in from out of town to visit your city, then your free gift could be just a guide, a PDF guide, or a video guide to the top 5 places to visit while they're in your city, or a way to save money around town while they're visiting your city. If it's someone planning a child's birthday, send them a PDF or a video with some cheap or free ideas for games for a kid's birthday party. What I'm saying is provide the free value first to the client, and they will be more obliged to book you. Again, we don't want people to feel obligated like they have to do something. But again, getting back to their law of reciprocity, I've talked about this before. If you do something for free with no strings attached to someone to add value to them, they will feel more inclined to do something in return for you, such as book your services in this case. And I know that some of you that just watched this video are sitting there thinking, all right, great, but I've got no bookings on here. I barely have any photos. I don't have any reviews. What do I do? Here's what you do. You may have to do some really low budget events on here at first and offer a really low introductory price, not undercutting, but asking them for something in return. You could offer them a low introductory price that you really are only offering for a limited time, along with the request to them that they provide you with photos and videos of the event, and asking them in advance for a 5-star review if they feel you earn it once you get to the event, with the promise that they will receive excellent service and excellent value. The good news for you is there are people on here that only look at what the lowest price is, and if you're the lowest price, you will book that event no matter what else. And I don't want to think of this as undercutting, because you need to be making that request of them that they will provide photos and or video and or a review, and you need to have that set up front with them, and you need to make them aware that that's why you're offering this introductory price. So hey, leave me a comment and let me know how's Gig Salad been going for you. Drop me a comment down below. Also, this channel is all about helping you make 6 figures or more doing something you love and then growing that money. So I'll see you back here soon on the Money Beard channel, and together, let's watch it grow.